Welcome. So, welcome to episode 2 of The Artist's Guide. I'm going to get right into this. I'm so excited about this. This episode is about fear. Ain't scared, the artist's guide to fear. And trust me, I have faced all of the fears and overcome them as an artist and feel like it's kind of like a superpower at this point as far as what what I have overcome. If you guys are here, say hi so I can see where the comments are because this changed from last week. I'm new here. All right, help a sister out. All right, so starting off, this stuff that I'm going to talk to you about is straight from my life. There we go. I can see the comments now. Thank you guys. Just wanted to make sure I could see your comments so that as we're going along, if you have questions, that I can answer them for you. So this stuff comes straight from my book, The Artist's Guide to Branding, Marketing, and Selling Art Online. You can get a copy of that personally signed or any of my 6 books that I've written on my website. When you're done here watching the video, pop over there, make sure you check out what I've got. My books, my merch, there's stickers. I have these awesome little Barbie the Welder sticker packs that I send out. And I always find little gifts and things to send to you. So grateful you're here. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. All right. So to start off with, I'm reading from notes, so forgive me if I keep looking over to my side. There is a lot of stuff here that I want to cover. I want to make sure that I bring you everything that you need, all the stuff that you're looking for in order for you to work through your fear, and not only work through fear, however, I want you to be able to not only work through your fear, I want you to use your fear. When you're done with this video, I want you to be able to walk away and take everything that's scaring you, all your fear, and I want you to become best friends with it, and I want you to leverage your fear for success like I have. It has been a profound experience as an artist, and this will show you some of the stuff that I've overcome, and I'm sure, hopefully I will touch on all the fears that you guys are going through, and I'm going to teach you also how to take every fear that you have and leverage it for success. So there's something that scares you that I don't mention in my long list of things that have scared me as an artist. And if you're comfortable saying what your fear is, down in the comments, leave a comment on what your fear is, and I will, I'm going to teach you how to leverage that for success. So, all right, here are the fears. Here are some of the fears, and I'm pretty sure this is a super comprehensive list. However, there's stuff I've gone through that I don't always remember that I've gone through. I'm kind of do this done next thing in my life. I'm like, I'm done with it, I'm over it, let's move on. So here are the fears that I have faced as an artist. You might recognize some of these. Fear about going full-time as an artist. Fear about calling yourself an artist. Imposter syndrome. Completely suffered from that one. Fear about pricing your art. And it's like, is my price too high? Is my price too low? Should I even be selling art to begin with? Who am I to sell this art? All the things. Fear about asking for a sale or a commission. Fear about public speaking or speaking online or speaking to a client in person or online or on the phone. Fear of speaking, period. Fear that you won't know what to do as a full-time artist. Fear you don't know fancy art terms and that you'll sound stupid. I still don't know fancy art terms. I Googled them. Fear that you'll fail as an artist. Fear that no one will believe in you. Fear that no one will buy your art or see your unique perspective. Fear that you will have to be a starving artist in order to be an artist, and fear about taking time off. And that's a really, really great one. I have definitely, I have suffered from all of these things, like all of these things that just I went through. So now that I've gone through the list, before I go back over it, I want to, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you how I've overcome fear, what it's taken, simple terms, and then I'm going to go back over my list and teach you how to take Well, I have figured out that works for me, my little trick. I'll teach you the trick in facing your fear and, yeah, taking time off. Terrifying, right? I'm like, if I take time off, everything's gonna fall apart. That's a thing. Okay, so I am going to introduce you to fear, and I'm going to give him a face. Look at, don't freak out, because fear is not as bad as you might think. It's not as bad as you've made it out to be. People have been vilifying fear for years. However, you're judging. I'm giving him a face, okay? Did Goose go by? He's around here somewhere. Goose the shop foreman. He'll show up. He'll show up. He's back there scratching the chair somewhere. Things will fall apart behind me. All right. So I'm going to introduce you to fear. I'm going to put a face on fear, and I want you to, like, right now, fear has a scary face, right? But before we get done, before this video is done, I am going to teach you how to put a friend's face on fear and how to become friends with fear. All right. The thing is, the truth is that fear is actually here to serve us. It's here to serve and protect, right? And it's not like, fear is not here to stop you from living a life beyond your wildest dreams. It's actually here to serve and protect you. So let's start with the fear that you know, however. So the fear that you know is dark, and it's scary, and it feels like anxiety. And when he's around, you're immobilized, okay? He's someone you don't want living in your home. You don't want him lounging around your living room and, kicking his stinky feet up on your coffee table. And you sure don't want him loitering in your neighborhood. Like, if fear shows up, like, you want to call the cops, get him out of here. You feel you'd be better off without him, and you wish that he would go away. So fear is very, very real, okay? Ask me how I know. Fear is very real. However, unless you're in physical danger, your fear reaction is actually a perceived threat. Perceived, and perceived means that it's something that you believe to be true. So when you feel fear, like, say for instance, and we're going to use going full-time as an artist as our example, because that's what was one of my major fears, and what I know so many of y'all face is that fear of going full-time as an artist. So you are sitting there right now, you're watching their video, you're like, oh my God, I want to go full-time as an artist, but I'm scared. Right? And that fear is very real, because you've got all these scenarios in your head about what that looks like, what it's going to entail. And you also have all this stuff that you don't know that you have to face, but that you're going to have to face. So fear is something that you feel is threatening your safety and security. However, you're not in actual danger. However, we are built with this fear mechanism. Thank you, Tapani. Thank you so very much. That means the world to me. Thank you, guys. Fear is, it's a perceived threat that back in the cave people days that, I didn't live in, however, my cells lived in it. We have this, whatever it is, I'm like, whatever it is, it's been installed in us at birth. It's been honed over years and years and years of practice of us having fear. It was made for our primal selves to protect us so that we survive long term. Fear was installed in us or created in us so that we'll survive. So we'll actually survive. And today, because things are so much easier, I DoorDash food, I drive in my vehicle, that there's no dinosaurs chasing me. I drive in my vehicle, I don't have the T-Rex chasing me down the road. There's not really threats that we face in life that is primal in nature. So our, I want to say amygdala. I don't know if that's the right word for this. Look at me pulling fancy words out for this live stream. You're welcome. Our brain, I'll just say our brain because I don't know what part it lives in. Our brain still has this fight or flight system built into us to keep us alive. However, because we're not facing all this danger that we used to face, it feels quite bored and lonely. And so it's gonna have to, it wants to work, it wants to put in money, it wants some walking around money. And so fear goes to work on us, and it finds these perceived threats, like, I want to go full-time as an artist. And the threat here that you're facing that you may or may not realize is, as a full-time artist, we have this belief that full-time artists are going to starve to death. It was like someone somewhere went full-time as an artist, they starved, and then they told all their friends how miserable it was because maybe they didn't put in the right work on the right things, right? And so, yeah, you got it. The lizard brain. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, I know something. I usually have like these thoughts come up and I usually will have to Google them, but during my live stream, unless I have another little thing, I'm like my iPhone's here doing all this stuff, so I don't have like the, I can Google like what this word means and my lizard brain pops up with. So in all of this, like, we have this perceived threat that if I go full-time as an artist, I'm gonna starve. Look, at your body doesn't know if it's a T-Rex or not, and so it's going into maximum overdrive. It's going to keep you safe, come hell or high water. You must stay safe. And so it starts throwing all these scenarios at you, like, you're gonna starve, this is gonna happen, this is gonna, like, all this stuff. So what happens is, like, fear at its core is insecurity. Inside. It's insecurity, not knowing what will happen, the unknown. And what happens is we make up all these what if scenarios, all these stories inside us. Because trust us, we're creative people. I've got all the story. You would not believe the stuff that I've made up that I could be scared of, okay? And what we do is we make up a story based on whatever, and then we freak ourselves out about it. We literally create this monster and then run out of the room screaming about this monster we've created. Bravo, Dr. Frankenstein. On the tail feathers of Halloween, bravo, Dr. Frankenstein. Make up a monster and then get really scared about this monster and then freak out about this monster. Because it's like the monster is, being full-time as an artist is gonna look like this monster. And if I go full-time as an artist, this monster is gonna come out and get me, okay? Like, no kidding. No kidding. Okay, so even though I'm making these stories up, these thoughts, you know, and like they are actually tangible, okay? We have made up a monster, whether it is through the monsters that other people throw at us. Here's a monster, here's a monster that's gonna happen if you go full-time as an artist. Here's another monster that's gonna happen. And here's more monsters. And there's so many monsters. They're under our seat, they're behind us, they're everywhere. Oh my God, they're in my raccoon wounds, okay? So we have all these monsters that we made up. However, it doesn't, and they're made up. However, it doesn't matter. Like, they actually are perceived as, they're tangible to us. Even though they're made up in our mind, they're actually these tangible, real fears, okay? And it's very scary, okay? Like, oh my God, I'm gonna starve. Look, it's a made up thing that you're gonna starve as an artist. However, I can go online and I can find you 1,000 people. There's probably 100,000. There's probably 1 million. There's probably 1 million artists out there that'll tell you that's true. Pause for coffee that should have an evening top off on it. I don't have an Irish coffee, however, I should. Yum, it's still just as good. So Your perception is your reality. Someone just posted that, and I really love it. I wonder if I can get the comments to stay. No, I'm not sure. All right, we're going to just move forward. So if you say something and I miss it, come back to me on it, okay? Because this is all super good. So perception is reality. So these are thoughts that we make up, and they may or may not be true. However, we perceive them to be true. However, fear is actually your best friend, and fear as your best friend will help you become very, very, very successful as an artist. And it'll also help you to have security as an artist, okay? Your fear is actually here to protect you. He wants you to be safe more than anything else, because we're going to put he on fear. I'm just calling it he because that's what I've done. You can call your fear she, give it a name. It's Bertha, it's Frederick, it's whatever you want it to be, okay? Call it what you want, but it is only in working to understand what your fear has been trying to tell you will you be able to make friends with it, okay? And we want to make friends with our fear. We want to be best friends with our fear. We want to throw it a kegger. We want to have a drunken, want to let them know how much we love them with a drunken toast, okay? But fear is our best friend. So how do you do this? How do you turn this perceived threat that has been stopping you from living a life beyond your wildest dreams? How do you take this giant monster that you've got looming behind you? I wish I had like a cardboard cutout of like Frankenstein. It would make this so much better. I should like paint Frankenstein. Monster. Oh my God, I should go out and get my Cthulhu planter. Damn it, man. I'll be so much more prepared next time. So how do you make friends with this monster that you created? It's by sitting down with your fear, looking him right in the face, and having a come to Jesus conversation to find out what he has been trying to tell you. Because here's the deal, man. I'm like, he's been trying to talk to you. It's not like I'm a monster and I'm scary, you're done. It's I'm a monster, I'm scary. Let's have a conversation about how we can figure this out, how we can work around this, okay? I kind of touched on this a few minutes ago. Like, fear is actually insecurity. It is insecurity. It is inside. It is you not feeling secure, okay? The only way to get past the fear is to figure out what would make you feel secure in the situations, in the scenarios, so that you can then implement everything you need to move forward with peace and comfort and joy, okay? How do you do it? Well, I've got 3 questions that you need to ask your fear. I'm going to tell you what these questions are, and then we are going to go back over every single one of these scenarios with these questions and look at them, so that you can see how I'm doing this, and so that you can have, this is a tool, it's such a simple tool. And this is really just taking a situation and coming at it like outside of the box thinking. We're creative, we're artists, we're makers, we're creative people. This is simply looking at the same situation with a different perspective. That's all it is. So again, pause for coffee. It's hot. Oh, it's cold here. Like, there's 2 seasons in Florida. We have air conditioning season and we have heater season. We have now moved from air conditioning season into heater season. I'm sitting here in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. The shop is not 90 degrees like I like. I've thought about going to get the blanket that is on that that chair and bringing it over to this chair to get cozy. All right. So when you have fear, here's the 3 questions that you ask your fear. What would feel like unconditional love and support in this situation? What would need to be in place so I can feel secure, confident, and comfortable doing this thing? What decision or action can I take right now to help me feel safe and move one baby step forward? Okay? Now look at, let's go back to, oh, dude, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. So cold, right? I'm just like a complete cozy mode. All right, so, and thank you for that, guys. If you're watching this live, like and share and comment. It means the world to me. This is really just such a joyful passion of mine to share this information. And by sharing it with other people who you feel would find value in this, who are full-time artists or want to be full-time artists, please share this with them. It just would be a huge help, not only for me, but to help other people. It is my desire to guide millions of artists to be thriving artists financially and emotionally, and I am creating this video series to do that. When I'm done with this video series, I'm actually going to take all of this and I'm going to make a workbook that is a downloadable workbook that you'll be able to get and then use to work through. It'll be a companion guide to my book, The Artist's Guide. All right. So let's take these 3 questions and let's go back over my fears so that you could see how this works out and what you could do actually to work through these fears yourself. So like, look at, like, again, fears are absolutely, like, they're so real. However, they are made up. And so by approaching them in a different way, by looking at them in a different manner, it's just a completely different, when you ask different questions, you get different results, okay? If you want a better life, ask yourself better questions. If you're asking why me and why are things so hard, the answers you're gonna get are the results of those questions. So by asking better questions, you get better results, okay? My experience, yours may vary. So, fear around going full-time as an artist, quite like scenario number 1. All right. And so in order to overcome the fear of being a full-time artist, let's show up with different questions. Okay. Yes, there are going to be things that are going to be scary about it. However, I want to go full-time as an artist. What would feel like unconditional love and support so that I can move forward and feel unconditional love and support? And I'm going to go out on a limb and say financially is everyone's fear. Okay? Yeah. Fight, flight, or freeze. That's exactly what happens. However, when you ask yourself, look at, I want to go full-time as an artist. How can I do this and feel unconditional love and support? Okay? And I know for me, it was financial. So what I did is I worked and I saved. I put money in a savings account that was specifically for full-time artist money. And I had what I thought was 6 months of full-time artist money. Story for another day. Story for another day. However, how could I move forward to being a full-time artist and have it feel like love, unconditional love and support? Okay, that is getting money in the bank. That is educating yourself on what it's going to take for you to be a full-time artist. That is studying other artists who are successful full-time artists. Look at, if you, like, what you focus on, you will get more of. If you want fear about being a full-time artist, go talk to people who have failed at it. Okay? If you want to feel empowered and unconditionally loved and supported about being a full-time artist, go find full-time artists who are supportive unconditionally and loving unconditionally. Pick me. I'm here for you. Okay? Having that financial security is probably everyone's number 1 reason for not going full-time as an artist. And so look at, if it takes you 2 years to create the financial foundation that would make you feel loved and supported as an unconditional artist, then start today. Put $5 in a savings account, or make a rule. Every single penny that I find is going into my full-time artist fund, or any change that I have. If you can't, find cans and go take them back. If you live in Florida like I do, save them up and go take them to your family in New York. I mean, like, do something. Baby steps, right? So what decision or action can I take? Oh, with the second one, sorry. What would need to be in place so I can feel secure, confident, and comfortable doing this? Probably financial foundation, right? So like, save your money, put money in a 401k or an IRA, or just start studying financial literacy. Start educating yourself around it. If the only thing stopping you from being a full-time artist is you don't know how to run a business, then start studying that. Like whatever it's gonna take, find out what you like, and you have to, like, these answers come to you when you shut off your phone. Don't do it now. There's more stuff here. Wait till the live stream's done. But wait, come back and love me. Right? Shut down the outside world. Shut it out. Go into your own world. Go into yourself. Shut off the phone. Take a pencil. Take your Trapper Keeper and a number 2 pencil. Okay? Ask yourself what it would take for you to feel safe and secure. Make a list and then start going over these things one by one. Because like, fear is pointing you to the answers. Right? What is it that you're most scared of? And then take that one thing and then break that down into baby things, into little things, into small steps, okay? And then ask yourself, what's one decision or action I can take right now to help me feel safe and secure and move me one baby step forward? Look, you don't have to do you don't have to do all of this at once. And what I do, I don't have my notebook with me, but I have a notebook for every single subject that I'm working on. I have a specific notebook for it. For this business series, for the Artist Guide series, I have one spiral notebook for that. And if I have anything that I'm doing with that, it goes into that spiral notebook so I can keep this organized. Organization really helps me. I have an artist brain. It does everything all at once, all the time. And so I think I have like 15 notebooks. I'll bring them next week. I'll show you. I mean, like, no kidding, like a pile. And like, this one's for the Artist Guide series. This one's for the Veterans Project. This one's for my new book that I'm writing. This one's for my social media. I mean, like, all the things, all the once, all the time. It is me and me alone doing all of this. So just by having clarity, by going inside yourself and asking yourself, what do I need to feel unconditionally loved and supported as I go full-time as an artist? Look, get this list of all the things that scare the shit out of you, and then just start looking at each one by one, and asking, what would I need to do to make this feel like love and support, okay? So the number 2 thing that I was scared about is fear in calling yourself an artist, imposter syndrome, okay? I had imposter syndrome. I think it took me 2 years, 2, maybe 3 years, somewhere in between 2 and 3 years to actually say that I'm an artist, okay? I created a social media channel. I was teaching you on YouTube, literally was teaching you on YouTube how to create art. I was creating art, and I was also still teaching art, and I still was scared to call myself an artist. I had imposter syndrome because I hadn't gone to school for it. I didn't know at what point I was allowed to call myself an artist, and so this is a fear, a real, true fear. And so if you're sitting there today and you have imposter syndrome over being an artist and you have fear over that, ask yourself, how could I call because look, if you're creating anything, if you're writing, if you are creating videos, if you're doing photography, if you're just creating anything, you're an artist. You're an artist. You're a maker. You're a creative. Pick one of those names. You can call yourself a maker. You can call yourself a creative. You can call yourself an artist. Pick a term. If you're making something, you are an artist, just an FYI. And if you're welding and fabricating things, like you're also an artist. You are creating something from nothing. It makes you an artist, okay? I'm going to wave a wand. You're an artist. Go be an artist. Go call yourself an artist, okay? But if you don't feel secure in calling yourself an artist, and you would like to feel secure calling yourself an artist, what would need to be in place for you to feel confident and comfortable calling yourself an artist? All right? Shut it down. Make a list, okay? Like, just make a list. You know, what decision or action can I take right now to help me feel safe and secure to call myself an artist? What's one baby step I can take to move forward and call myself an artist? All right. And again, this is insecurity. To become secure inside, we must go inside. You can't, you know, like I can guide you. I can guide you to the water, but you have to drink the Kool-Aid. I can drive you to the Kool-Aid. You have to drink it yourself. Okay. Fear in pricing my art. Is my art priced too high, too low, not high enough, too low? I don't know. Oh my God, the fear, the crippling fear that I've had around pricing my art shakes head itself. Tisk, tisk, Barbie. For Zachary and for all those watching, I am live streaming this video. I am live streaming this series because I have so much fun talking to you live and interacting. You inspire me to no end, and you will inspire new thoughts and new things that I can teach others. So in addition to this being live streamed, I will then also go and upload it after it's done. Be patient. It will be live. It will be in the my video playlist here on YouTube, the Artist's Guide video series. So it will be there for you to come back to later. So if you can't stay for the whole thing, please do if you can. If not, however, show back up. Where did that comment just go? All right. And there we go. There we go. All right, I wanted to see your comments. They were coming up and disappearing, and so I wasn't having a chance to see them as fast. So please, if you have anything you're scared of as we're going through this, put it in the comments. If you're comfortable, send me a message privately. If you're not comfortable, happily, I'm going to share these. I will share these questions again for you to ask your fear. I'll go back and put that in the description once the live is uploaded so that you can then use these for, if you haven't taken notes, take notes if it helps. But, okay, so fear in pricing your art. Look at, oh my God, I'm pretty sure that one probably never goes away. But also, only you can price your art. I can't do this for you. So you're going to have to face this fear, and this is how you do it. How can you feel unconditionally loved and supported in pricing your art? Because you have to do this as an artist. You have to get over it, okay? I will tell you this. I don't care if you're, like, it doesn't, like, I sculpted this cup. I really didn't, but we're just going to, for argument's sake, say I sculpted this cup, and then I sat here, and I'm sitting at a show, and, like, this is true story. Like, this is not made up stuff. Like, all this is true story and what I've gone through. I don't care what you price your stuff at. Go ahead and price it. Put any price on it. Someone is going to walk, like, say you're set up at a show and you're selling your art and people are walking through your booth. Someone is going to come through your booth and they're going to say quietly, but not quietly enough for you not to hear, "Thanks, ass." Oh my God, Bertha, did you see the price that Barbie put on this? It's crazy. It's ridiculous. She'll never sell it for that much. They'll leave your booth, and I swear to you, on my life, someone else will come through your booth 5 minutes later and say quietly to their friend, but not so quietly that you can't hear it, "Oh my God, this price is so ridiculously low. She could charge so much more for this." It's subjective, dude. I don't care who you're talking to, price is subjective. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this. This is a video for a whole nother day. This is a whole video series in and of itself. I'm telling you, just legitimately, I don't care what your prices are. It is going to be too low for some people and too high for others. Price, just like art and just like I am, they're all completely subjective. Some people are going to think you're way too high. Some people are going to think you're not high enough. The end. However, pricing your art is a fear that you must look right in the face. You're going to have to get real comfortable with it. And that is, I have a video about that, something for you guys to go look at. However, what would feel like unconditional love and support? What price on your art would feel like unconditional love and support for you? Okay? But also you have to watch what the market is, as far as, like, you have to watch where you are. You have to build your name. You have to build your brand. There's a lot that goes into it. However, what price would feel like unconditional love and support? Okay? What would need to be in place so I can feel secure, confident, and comfortable putting this price on my art? Okay? And what decision or action can I take right now to help me move one baby step forward in pricing my art where you want to price it? Okay? Again, pricing your art is terrifying. Terrifying. I probably will do an entire video series about this. Stay tuned. Okay? All right, next fear is asking for a sale or commission. All right? Another terrifying thing, if you're setting up and selling your art live, sitting in a booth and having people come in and talking to them about your art, it is definitely, I'm literally sitting here. I am sweating like a stuck pig right now. Like talking about this. I want to show you and share with you. I'm not going to share with you how sweaty my armpits are. But I kid you not, I literally have sweat dripping off of me right now. Just in even talking about fear around pricing your art, it is a real, and I'm telling you, like, it's a real thing, okay? I'm sweating. Maybe it's the coffee. It is not the fact that this shop is so cold, I'll tell you that. I normally in a blanket. This is a really good video series to warm me up in the cold, dark days of winter when it drops into the 70s here in Florida. Fear is real. Like, fear is real, and this is proof, okay? Perceived threat. Like, no kidding. So, fear in asking for sale and a commission. Look, I want you to know, like, sad fact, this stuff is not going away. I was like, stuff. The fear is not going away. However, creating a healthy relationship with fear is the only way around it. I am still facing fear in my business. I still face fear when I price something. Look at Mama tried when I was up in Milwaukee this past February. I, for the first time in my career, my angel sculpture behind me, the last angel before her was $15,000. I put $50,000 on this angel. My skill level has gone from here to like up to here, from the last one to this one. My name has gone from here to here. And whether it is the right decision or not, like, time will tell. I know it's the right decision for me. It feels like unconditional love and support to do that. However, standing next to that sculpture and putting that price on it was terrifying for me. Just an FYI. I know the value is there, like emotionally, mentally, emotionally. As I touch my head, emotions here, mentally here. I know the value is there, and I know I will sell her eventually. However, I actually had to work through fear in order to put $50,000 on her. I had like these little these little easel, these little canvas things that I had a Sharpie and I was writing prices on stuff. I was like, in my head, I literally was like, my handwriting's not good. I'm gonna find someone with good handwriting to write the price on this little sign so that when people come in, it looks all fancy, it looks artistic. Here's the truth in that. I was actually so scared about putting this price, physically writing this price down. I actually didn't want to do it myself. My excuse, my fear, excuse, whatever you want to call it, was like, I literally was going to go have someone else write the number down on this little easel. Okay? Like, actual factual, like, I caught myself, I caught my BS, I realized what I was doing, and I go, you know what? Write the price down, sweetheart. Only you can price your art. Like, you know, there are people that are going to come through my booth. They're going to say it's too much. There's going to people going to come through the booth and say it's not enough. Did it happen? Yes. You know, there are people that came through my booth at Mama Tried and they said, "Oh my God, you know, you can hear them. You're not deaf." You know, "Oh my God, did you see it's $50,000?" And there's people that came through that were like, it's only $50,000? It's a numbers game. I could have put $5,000 on that sculpture and would have had the same reaction from people. Not from me. I'm like, that would have been easy to put that down there. I've sold lots of $5,000 sculptures. However, I have not yet sold a $50,000 sculpture. Coochie coochie coo. But I will. It's just a matter of time, and it's a numbers game. So, like I'm saying, like, fear does not go away. However, you do have to have a conversation with yourself over it, because it is just simply pointing something out to you, and you just need to figure out what it's pointing at and figure out how to get comfortable with it. In getting comfortable with it, you're creating security for yourself. So in your just asking for a sale or a commission, it's the same thing. All this stuff is exactly the same thing. You have to create comfort for yourself, and only by talking to yourself and asking, what is your fear pointing at? What is it trying to tell you? And maybe I'm batshit crazy for putting 50 grand on it. I know I'm not. However, it's taken me a while, right? It's taken me a while to talk myself into this, to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel comfortable and confident, okay? And the thing is, you do it once and you get a little bit more comfortable doing it. I put the price tags on the $10,000 and $20,000 sculptures first. I worked my way up to the $50,000 sculpture, okay? So all of this, fear of public speaking, that's practice, y'all. I'm telling you, like, it's just, and if you can't get over it first, you have to figure out how can you do it. Like, you have to figure out what steps that you need to take, and you need to talk to yourself. What steps do I need to take to feel comfortable and confident in public speaking? I got comfortable doing it by making videos for you guys on YouTube. Started out in 2015. I've got over 200 videos now here on YouTube, 200. So I've got practice, and so I can do live streams. I have my list of notes. What makes you feel comfortable and confident? Notes, written big old chunky letters. The other thing that makes me feel comfortable and confident doing these live streams is I tell you, I'm live. I'm doing it live and I've got notes here. And I tell you, like, if I stop and pause for a second, I'm reading over my notes to make sure that I get everything. Because teaching you means so much to me, okay? So what else do I have for fears that we can look at? Fear of fancy art terms and thinking you'll sound stupid. Educate yourself. All right? Let people know that you don't know fancy art terms. People will educate you. You know, when you show up authentic and let people know, look at, you know, and this is another one. Let's go back to the public speaking, because I went from doing videos on YouTube to people asking me to come and talk to their class. And I mean like school classes. I talk to second graders, and I also talk to the I talked to thousands of people, like the American Welding Society, and talking live there. At Fab Tech, I did like a live interview there. I've talked to American Welding Society in classrooms with hundreds of students. Just the first thing I do when I show up, in order to help me feel more comfortable and confident, is I let people know, look, this is not my day job. I'm not used to talking to public people like live, like in large groups. I'm used to welding. And so if I screw up, like, understand I'm nervous right now. I'm like, that's what I tell people. I'm like, I literally stand in front of thousands of people and go, you know what? I'm nervous. This is not my normal job. I'll get comfortable in a couple of minutes, but right now I'm standing here sweating like a you know what, you know where. Okay. By having these conversations, by your authenticity, by your honesty, and by facing fear like straight up, I'm like, it feels better, okay? Oh my God, fear you'll fail. Here you go. Here's the other one. This is the one you guys have been waiting for, right? Make friends with failure and make friends with fear. They're both your best friends. You are going to fail. So you should probably not fear it. You should probably just embrace it, right? The fear of failure stops more people. And failure can look like a whole bunch of different stuff, like not going to make money failure, have to go back to your job failure, not be able to sell your art failure, not be able to build your social media failure, saying the wrong thing failure, losing a client failure, not getting a commission failure. Should I go on? Because I've done all of it. We go way back like car seats, y'all. Me and failure go way back like car seats, okay? I have actually failed my way to success. I have used my failures for stepping stones and have literally failed my way to success. You will too. I need you to get really comfortable with failure, which actually should be the next one. Like, fear is a great subject, but failure is a really great subject. And I don't know if failure is going to be my next week's, or I had something else. I wrote something else down. Taking notes. I inspire you to fail. I am really going to inspire, and I'm going to inspire you to fail fast and fail forward and fail frequently, because this is how we get success, is by learning what doesn't work, okay? I have become successful online and off because I've learned what doesn't work for me, and I've learned what does work for me. And only by failing and having these magnificent failures, some are online, and I share some, like I hopefully record them so I can show you what they look like, so that you can laugh with me, because I laugh at my failures. Now I'm just like, I just on a daily basis, it's an actual practice to laugh at my failures, okay? However, fear is still a real thing. I have made friends with my fear. However, you might not have. Why does that not sound right? You might not have made friends with your fear yet. So this is how you do it. Make a big old swip of coffee, swig or sip. A swip is a swig and a sip mixed together. I make things up. So how do you make friends with failure? It's a practice. It's literally just a practice. I want you to know, just as a human being, as a mere mortal, whether you're an artist or just a mere mortal, you're going to fail, okay? So what would feel like unconditional love and support? You know you're going to fail, so what unconditional love and support would feel like is, and like, look at, this is a conversation you have to have with yourself. I can give you these ideas, but having the conversation with yourself. I am going to fail, and I'll just, this is what the conversation looks like. Barbie, you're gonna fail, and look at, if it makes you feel better, have it in a mirror or whatever. Barbie, you're gonna fail. When you fail, what would feel like unconditional love and support? Okay? And this is stuff you can put in place. Do it now. Do it tonight. Wait till this is done. Hear me out. Please don't go. I love you so. Ask yourself, look at self. I'm going to fail. What would feel like unconditional support when I do fail? You know, and maybe that looks like having a cup of coffee and having a piece of pie. You know what? I'm going to sit back and I'm going to celebrate every single failure with a piece of pie, you know, or a little piece of candy, or I'm just going to sit down and say, oh my God, I love you so much. It really didn't turn out the way you wanted to. What can we learn from this? Like protocol, people. What's your protocol for failure? You should have one, and you should have it in place. You should know what it is, and every time you fail, it should be a celebration, because you've figured out what doesn't work for you, and you're now going to find out something that, you know, like you could just sit down, like, that didn't work. Okay, what could I do differently next time, right? Failure protocol. And that is, I think this is going to be a subject for next week. Let's see. And so knowing that you're failing, what would need to be in place so I can feel secure, confident, and comfortable doing this, right? So like having a protocol in place, like a failure protocol, I'm going to write that down. My God. I'm learning as I'm going. Look, I love this because as I'm teaching you, I actually learn from teaching. It's a huge thing. So I'm just really grateful to you guys showing up, so I have the opportunity to not only teach you what's worked for me, but also so that I can learn. So just thank you so much for being here. Like, thank you. All right, so knowing that you're going to fail, what decision or action can I take right now to help me feel safe and move forward? What's one baby step I can take to help me move forward in this? Because you are going to fail. Hopefully you fail magnificently. Hopefully you catch it on video, and hopefully it goes viral so that you can thrive as an artist. I always try to catch them so I can go viral. The outtakes, baby. It's all about I'm doing it for the outtakes. All right. A fear that no one is going to believe in you. All right. So how can you move forward confidently? Because not everyone is going to believe in you. No one believed in me no one believed in me for the first freaking probably till I showed up and started teaching you guys. Honestly, like, probably other than me, probably no one believed in me for probably about, let's see, running math. I'm like, time doesn't exist, so it's really hard to talk to you guys about time. However, time like just doesn't even exist. I'm like, I decided to be a full-time sculptor, and then 8 years later, I became a full-time sculptor. And then a year after that, of being a full-time sculptor, is when I started doing the online teaching. So for approximately 9 years, I was the only one that believed in myself. It took me 9 years from the moment I decided to be a full-time artist until I had probably the first person believe in me. Like, no kidding. Just saying. So 9 years. Imagine working for 9 years and having no one but you believe in yourself, okay? If I can get through that, look, I believe in you. Now you got two. You got you and me that both believe in you. It's going to be a lot easier for you to move forward with this, okay? However, there are going to be so many people in your life that don't believe in you. Don't believe the hype, okay? Believe your hype. Don't believe their disbelief, okay? However, people are not going to believe in you. Not me, I believe in you, but there are people out there that are not going to believe in you. So knowing this, how can you move forward and what would feel like unconditional love and support, okay? And you just must have an undying belief in yourself, and you must just understand that people are not going to believe in you. what happens is this: unless someone can tangibly see, unless someone can see something, I'm like, look at, I've got a cup. I'm holding a cup. You can't see it and you won't believe in me until I show it to you, okay? And that's what happens with being a full-time artist, with being an artist, with creating anything. People are not going to believe until they see it. It's not their fault. Okay, people believe in me now, but it's because I've shown them again and again and again and again for 11 years now as a full-time artist, and 19 years as an aspiring artist. It's Schrodinger's cup, okay? And if you guys get that, Schrodinger's artist. Oh my God, I'm writing that down too. It's hilarious. If you guys get that joke, I love you. Moment of silence for me to take notes. All right, no one is gonna believe until there's no dead cat. Oh my God. I like now, like checking for the cat. Son of a gun. All right, so no one is gonna believe in you as an artist until you show them proof. And so what is gonna feel like unconditional love and support is that you are going to make a protocol to have in place. You're going to understand the fact that, look, unless you show them that you're going to be successful, pretty much no one is going to believe. And so you just have to do that. And then just understand there's going to be, like, you're going to go full-time as an artist. There is going to be a period of time. Pretend it's going to be 3 years. Hopefully it's not. I'm like, just for ships and giggles, just pretend it's going to be 3 years. And just tell yourself, look, no one's going to believe in me for 3 years. I'm going to have to get through this. What can I put in place to believe in myself, even though no one's going to believe in me, so that I feel confident, comfortable, safe, and secure, and loved, okay? And then how can I move myself forward? What's one baby step I can take to move myself forward today into an artist who believes in themselves? Because honestly, here's social proof that you don't need anyone to believe in you to be successful as an artist. I believed in myself. No one else did, and I am wildly successful. Okay? So you don't need anyone to believe in you to be a successful artist. Trust me. Okay? Fear that no one's going to buy your art. Look, at what you focus on is going to expand. All right? Everything sells eventually. I'm, again, proof of that. And here's another thing. If you guys have been here for the angel thing and about pricing the angel, coochie coochie coo, everything sells eventually. And this is something you need to get comfortable with as an artist. My first angel, the price I had on her was, I think I put $1,200. It was either $1,200 or $1,500 on my first angel that I made, the angel on a swing. When I first made her, I put that price on her. That was a terrifyingly high price. That was 10 times higher than anything I'd ever sold before. And so that was my I don't want to sell her price, which don't put that price on stuff. Don't put the I don't want to sell it price on it. Put it on the don't call it that, because I do want to sell things. She didn't sell, I think it took me 3 years to sell her. It took me 3 years to sell her. Everything sells eventually. Understand this. And when I did sell her, my first original price, I think, was $1,500. When I did sell her 3 years later, I sold her for $15,000. Sight unseen, online, okay? I just want you to just take that in and soak that up for a second, because that's really important that you get that, okay? She didn't sell right away. It took me 3 years to sell her. Persistence and patience pays off, okay? Everything sells eventually. Now, what happened was I built my name, I built my reputation, I built my reach, and she was really brilliant. She was really a beautiful sculptor, and eventually she sold. Right now I have $50,000 on her, and what's gonna happen is, I'm like, she's perfect. I mean, like, so good, far beyond anything I've ever created before. So what's gonna happen with that is she will sell eventually. And as I continue to build my brand, my name, and my reputation, her value will actually increase. And this is your goal as an artist. This is artist goals, okay? Build your brand, build your name, build your reputation, and build your reach. And eventually everything will sell, okay? And if it doesn't, what I do is I cut it apart and I build it into something that I love and that represents who I am today. Because there's actually been several sculptures I haven't. Story for another day, okay? So that is just like, people will eventually, like, everything sells eventually, okay? So in order to feel safe and secure, like, understand, like, it will, like, your art will sell eventually. Art and fear you have to be a starving artist. This is going to be the last one I'm talking about. I'm going to do time off. I'm actually at the hour, but this is important, so I'm still here for it. Thank you for you being here for it. Fear you have to be a starving artist. I'm here as social proof to show you that you don't have to be, okay? However, it is a real fear for you, and I get it, because trust me, I have gone there, been there, done it. Got the t-shirt, sold them, wore them, bought them, and now I'm selling the t-shirts and don't have to starve anymore. There's 2 for sale right there. However, in the beginning, I did starve for a while. Here's what you need to do, okay? You understand that this is a real, true fear and that you're facing it. And so, knowing this, you need to have a conversation with your fear about being a starving artist, okay? Ask yourself, what would feel like unconditional love and support? Because there are good times and there are slow times as an artist, and this depends on where you get yourself. The first goal is to get yourself to consistently earning money, and that might mean you have to sell $100 sculptures for a couple of years, okay, or $100 paintings or whatever. If you're taking pictures and your pictures are only $10 a piece, then you're gonna have to run some math and look at this, okay? But what would feel like unconditional love and support in this? And so you might realize that, maybe it's going to take you a couple of years before you're able to go full-time as an artist, or maybe you have to supplement your income by being a door dasher or by any number of things, right? But what would feel like unconditional love, and like understanding what would feel like unconditional love, like knowing that before that you quit your job, that you want to be earning $50,000 a year as a full-time artist. If that's what it takes for you to feel that unconditional love and support, then you need to get yourself there. Like, you need to do that, because that's how fear is going to go away, because you want fear to be your best friend. And in order to make friends with fear, then you need to face this stuff, and because your fear is really insecurity, right? And so in order to feel secure, what would feel like security? Because when you feel secure, fear goes away, okay? So whatever it is that is going to make you feel secure, you need to do that. But you need to figure out what that is. And that's how fear dissolves, okay? So what would need to be in place so I can feel secure? And like for all of us, it's that income, okay? There is passive income, and that's a story for another day, but passive income as an artist is ways to make money while you're sleeping. And that's something I'm going to teach you. That's a video that's coming up. That right there is how good artists become phenomenal artists, is through passive income. All right. So having that financial security, having that consistent income, like that's how we get fear to dissolve. But it's just in understanding that's what you're scared about, right? So, and knowing that, and here's the thing, social proof. Because if you only talk to people, if you're only talking to people who are starving artists, you're only going to get starving artist stories. So if you are currently a starving artist, and like, maybe it's savage, maybe it's not savage. It's safety, and we need to be safe. If you are a starving artist right now, and you're watching this and you're trying to figure out how to make it happen and how to like get over that, I'm going to lovingly suggest to yourself that you cut every single person out of your life who is a starving artist and who has a starving artist mentality. It's anyone. I'm the Queen of Hearts, dude, off with their head. I don't F with anybody who talks negativity about art and being a full-time artist and financial poverty. Just Queen of Hearts, dude, off with their head. Get them out of your life. Get them out of your social feed. Get them away from you, because they are crabs in a bucket and they will pull you back down. Here you are trying to get out. You're trying to do better for yourself. Look at misery loves company. And if you guys all sit around and talk about how everyone's a starving artist together, guess what you're going to get more of? Right? You're going to get like whatever you think about and talk about, you're going to bring it about. So get your social media feed dialed in, get the algorithm dialed in to the thriving artists. Get rid of all the BS, cut the fat, dude. And I'm not kidding, man. Like, this is just, you've got to be kind of savage with this, because if you've got starving people around you and they're all talking about how you're all going to starve, guess what? You're all going to be sitting there starving together. So go find it, like your whole social media feed should be where you want to go. It should be inspiration, people who raise you up, that inspire you, who are running businesses, who are successfully running businesses, who are thriving as artists, who have a really great following. And even look at, I'm like, I've gone through my social media feed, and this is may or may not be popular, and you can kiss my apple snaky if you don't like it, dude. But if you're out there complaining, gone. Down, thumbs down, you're gone. And I won't even tell you about it. I'll just zoop, I'll disappear, man. Because don't talk about it, be about it. I am here to go all the way up. I don't know what that even looks like right now. Coming to you from where I'm sitting, I am a thriving artist. I'm going all the freaking way. And I don't know what it looks like, but I know it involves yachts, and I know it involves really beautiful food, and it involves a lot of travel to foreign lands, and it involves a lot of really great food that I don't even know what it's called, okay? And like massages daily, I do know these things, but there's a lot of stuff I don't know what it looks like. But my social feed, like if you're complaining, you are definitely not on my social feed. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. And you've got to be a savage with this stuff, because what you think about and what you talk about, you will bring about, okay? So, fear about taking time off. This is an MFer. I'm just going to tell you this, like, you have to take time off, and you have to get comfortable with taking time off, because if you're working all the time and if you're scared all the time, again, what you're talking about is what you'll bring about. Take a day off. Your business is not going to fall apart. It actually will thrive if you take time. But again, you have to have this conversation with your fear, and you have to get comfortable with it. You have to say, oh, what would feel like unconditional love and support, and that is taking a day off and not doing social media and not like just not working, right? But again, you have to figure out how to get comfortable with this stuff. So like this is all really, really important. Okay. So let me do a speed run because we are over the hour, like 10 minutes. Let me speed run this. Okay. And I did touch on this a little bit. Fear does not go away after so many years as an artist. It still exists. I've got it, and I've got my rear-facing camera, so chances are my tattoo is backwards for you, but fate favors the fearless. It is on my arm. I look at this daily. I have actually drilled this into my arm. It is not about being fearless. It is about becoming friends with the fear because it is not going to stop. I still have it come up. However, I have a fear protocol. What I do when fear does come up, it's a practiced way of being now. I don't even have to really think about it. My reaction is different. I'm just like, hell yeah, like, let's get comfortable here. You know what I'm saying? I'm Batman. Oh my gosh, look at, I still have fear about what I'm doing. It just is just by having these candid conversations with myself, it just looks different. It feels different today, okay? Like everything, it gets easier with practice. I play with this. I encourage you to do the same thing. Look at whatever it is that you're scared about as an artist, take a look at it, have this conversation, shut down social media, figure it out, take these questions and ask, like, what would feel like unconditional love and support? I have it written on my wall. Literally, I have a one page that says, every thought, feeling, and action feels like unconditional love and support. And that's how you need to show up with your fear, is that figure out how to, like, figure out what protocol that you can create for yourself and then just practice it. And when you get something new, like I always like just big pages, I'll print out a whole thing. And like the bigger you can get this printed out, the simpler it is. Like, again, like what would feel like unconditional love and support, have that right there, you know. We get one chance to do this. We have one chance at our life, as far as I'm aware of. I don't have social proof. Like, maybe there's another one, story for another day, right? Like another conversation. However, whatever it is, it'll feel like unconditional love and support for yourself. Do that. Like, fear is simply pointing you at the fact that you feel insecure about something. And the way around your fear is to figure out how to create security. And that's just by asking yourself different questions, okay? Protect yourself as an artist, protect yourself as an artist. Okay. If you love this video, like it, leave me a thumbs up, leave comments. If there is an artist that you feel that would love this series, that would find value in this series, please share it with them. I'm doing this all for free because all this stuff that I have learned, it has helped me, and I have a life beyond my wildest dreams today. I'm creating sculptures that are just wild. I'm charging money for my time that is just wild. I've written books. It's just, this whole thing is wild. And I've grown myself into someone who I've gone from deep depression to just an incredible joy, peace and harmony and unconditional love and support. I know that I'm a better neighbor today, and I'm doing this for free because I'm helping my neighbors. And if my neighbors can gain the knowledge and are happy like I am, that means my whole neighborhood is happy and creative and fun and carefree like I am, and it just makes the whole world a better place. So by you guys showing up and watching the videos, by you liking, commenting, and sharing, it just makes the whole world a better place. At least that's my intention here. If there's a subject you want me to cover as an artist, anything to do with art business, please send me a message and I may make a video about it. I am currently, as I'm doing this series, you guys are live here with me, but what I'm doing is I'm taking these lessons and actually creating, as I'm going along with each one, I'm creating a what is going to be a downloadable workbook for you that will be a companion to my book, The Artist Guide. If you're interested in this workbook, it's going to take me several weeks to do this. However, if you're interested in it, you can go over to my website and sign up for my newsletter. I send a newsletter out every 3 to 4 months, whether I need to or not. Bear with me. I do send them out. It's just this guide right now, and like what I'm doing now, I'm like, it has been like 3 months, I think, since I sent the last one. However, if you're interested in the workbook, go sign up for my newsletter, and you'll be the first to know when it is available. Also, and like this week, I am going to make a newsletter this week. It has been so long, and I've got, this is video 2 that's going to be up here. So while you're over on my website, you can purchase personally signed copies. All my books are available there. When you are purchasing them, I'm personally signing them. I send you little gift bags. I've got like stickers and stuff in there. And I also am, I am practicing and playing with my new laser engraver. And while I'm doing that for a limited time, I'm creating little laser engraved keychains that I will send you one if you buy yourself a book on the website, or if you buy anything on my website right now. I also have merch and the shirts you see behind you. I have stickers, and of course I have sculptures available. Go check out my sculptures. These are not available, but that one is, and I have some other ones that are available. And I think that's all, like all the stuff. Look at, fear is so real for us, and it stops most people. Don't let fear stop you. Make fear your friend. Have a good conversation with yourself. Have an honest, like, come to Jesus conversation with your fear. Ask it what it's trying to tell you, and then show up for yourself with unconditional love and support. Give yourself everything that you need to feel confident and comfortable in what you're doing, so that you can move forward and create a life that is beyond your wildest dreams. It is just, like, I have goosebumps. It is just the greatest gift that you'll ever give yourself, is by facing your fear, guys. Look at, be excellent to yourself. Be excellent to each other. Do something today to make it a masterpiece. Stay true, live free, y'all. Love you. 5 minutes of me trying to figure out how to shut this thing down. This should go into the, this will go into